Waiting People is a series of drawings that represent different people, and basically they are restricted in a specific space. So some of them they are quite big, some of them they are quite small, and it's all about space. It's interesting to see how much your identity can be affected by the space. Another thing about Waiting People is that they have, in a way, they have to dress up in the same way. So they all look like each other, and but at the same time you can see different identity because each of them has a different. I wouldn't say expressions because of course they are all waiting, so they are not really in a great mood, but they do have something different in their eyes. So they keep their personality. What I'm trying to do is to deal with some social problems, which in this case could be globalization as well, which is the greatest problem we are facing at this moment. But I like to face it in a very cool way, in a very, if you want, even a bit superficial way. Waiting People for retirement, for example, represent these people, which is quite, they have lots of wrinkles, and they are quite bored, of course, and they are waiting for this retirement, which never comes, basically, which is the situation in which we are, especially in Italy. I like also to deal with kind of prejudice and stigma that we give to people all the time. The little man that I represent in a striped pyjama and who says, "Hey, I'm not a Jewish, I'm just wearing my pyjama," is very linked to the movie, which is The Boy in the Striped Pyjama. And I wanted just to underline how much we are influenced, by what we have around. So I don't know, I had these funny thoughts about that, after this movie, maybe every time we see a child in a striped pyjama, we think he is Jewish. And it's exactly what we do when we see people from other cultures. We guess what they think, we guess what they eat just because of, their color or whatever, or the way they dress up. I wouldn't say that I created Waiting People. I'd rather say that they came to me, and I quite like this way to think because I was just drawing and one of these faces came out of the paper, and then other faces came out, and that's how the series Waiting People came to life. Another thing that I really, really like about Waiting People is that they are made in these kind of bright colors, and they are just very cool. They are cool to me, and I can see people really like them mostly because of the colors. And it's interesting how they keep asking me, so okay, what are they doing? Because Waiting People can be waiting people for the bus, waiting people for retirement, waiting people, I don't know, I've done one who is waiting people for Maradona to come back. So it can deal with anything, something very silly in a way, something very, deep. And it's funny how people can spot the difference in their face. I see them as aliens that came on Earth, and I really hope they will come in all the different houses on this world just to make everything cooler and happier.